We've all run into this situation. You go for a knockdown on your opponent, set up for your meaty, and then get blown up by this. Today, I'm going to show you answers to this specific situation, as well as tons of other situations that are related to Clash that will give you immediate impact on your level of play and Melty Blood Type Lumina. What's up, y'all? I'm Drudy. I stream Type Lumina alongside a couple other great games 4 days a week over at twitch.tv/Drudy_. There'll be a link to that down in the description. And like I said, today we're going to be talking about why clashes happen, your options against them, and even go over some really common situations that you will run into regularly in your matches. I went ahead and broke the video down for you into a bunch of parts with timestamps in the description as well, so you can skip to wherever you're really feeling like you need to. But I do want to let you know that that tip at the end is going to be probably the biggest thing for you as far as clashes go, especially if you're somebody that struggles with the situation you just saw in the intro. Okay, so what is a clash? A clash is when two attacks interact at the same time, and you get that cool lightning effect, but then nobody ends up taking any actual damage. You may hear this definition applied similarly to when two attacks hit at the same time, like they do when they clash, but then both people do end up taking damage. That would look like that, and that is called a trade. I did a lot of research trying to figure out why clashes happen versus why trades happen, and I couldn't really come to a consistent reason as to why one would happen over to the other. So if anybody has that information, please let us know in the comments. I will heart that comment and maybe even pin it so that everybody can see that. I would appreciate that so much. Alright, to start this off, we're going to go ahead and start with grounded clashes. So with grounded clashes, there's actually 3 different types of clashes that change your options very slightly depending on what kind of clash you have. The first clash is going to be when you clash with a regular button like a jab. That would look like this. And then we're going to have clashes against charge normals like this one that Shiki has. As well as when you hit people doing armored charge normals like this one that Koma has. In all 3 situations, there are some universally available options. One of those being the ability to cancel into a special move, which you can even do into an invincible move if your character has one. You can also activate Moondrive, which will give you a little bit more time to kind of see what's going on, and then pick an additional option after your Moondrive activates. And then generally, if you used a standing or crouching A button in this situation, you will be able to shield after the clash has happened. It's just you gotta time it. And then lastly, if you happen to clash with a B or C normal, you can re-beat. Kind of like that. So the thing with Moondrive and Shield in these situations is that they open up a ton of other interactions. So if you guys want me to make videos kind of explaining the interactions once you activate Moondrive, or one of you guys starts to shield in these clash situations, or you want me to go more in depth on what rebeats are if you're not sure what that is, definitely let me know in the comments. I'd be happy to do that for you guys. Where things start to get weird is your ability to jump, which changes depending on which of those 3 clashes I mentioned happens. With our clash with jabs, you can't jump until after the move is over. For armor normals, you're not able to jump either, and generally it's pretty rough to do anything against these, so I would recommend you don't press a button against charge normals that have armor. You'll see that I got that shield, but that is a very tight window. But when it comes to charge normals, they have clash frames, part of the startup that will always clash no matter what. And when I say that these moves clash with everything, I mean everything. Kind of insane. If you do happen to hit them during these startup frames, you can jump, but you must immediately shield, as grounded normals in Melty are not blockable while you're in the air. Like this. This will enable you to do some really sick tech later on that I will explain to you when we get to a further part of the video. The only thing really worth mentioning for air clashes is that they're exactly the same as grounded clashes, except no matter what you clash with in the air, as long as you have your double jump available, you can always use it. Like this. Alright, next we're going to get into special moves. So something really important to note for special moves is that any projectile in this game cannot clash with anything except the previously mentioned charge normals that automatically clash with anything during their startup. This would obviously also apply to air charge normals. So if I have Shiki do a jump charge C button, it is going to clash with this move that Work has, and that would look like this. And then I get hit. You'll notice though, if I try to have Shiki do a jump A, he'll just get hit even though he has a hitbox out. You see that it says punish there. The same rule also applies for reversal moves like DPs or flash kicks or anything like that. So if we go ahead and make Shiki do a DP here, you'll see that I clashed with it and then beat him. But when it comes to physical special attacks, like Red Arc's 236A maybe, these can clash. But your only option here, if they do clash, is to either activate Moondrive, like we did on Grounded Clashes, or to cancel it into an EX move. Like this. Alright guys, before we move on to what I consider the most important part of this entire video, if you do like videos like this for Type Lumina and want to see more, I'm working on having a guide like this out once a week. So if that's something that interests you, please consider subscribing to the channel. In between these guides, I do want to post other videos. They might not all be Melty, but they will be sprinkled in there between the guides. I also stream 3 days a week, like I said before, on my Twitch. On my stream, feel free to pop in and ask me any questions you have about the game. I love talking about the game and teaching people things that they might not know otherwise. I also just recently set up my own Discord that you can come talk with me or anyone else in there that plays Melty about the game. Maybe you want to play some matches, learn some new tech, learn a new matchup, anything like that. You might even find some long-term training partners. Links to all these places will be in the description. Please go ahead and check those out, guys. Alright, and then moon skills. Moon skills are going to be the thing that by far you clash with the most in Type Lumina. If there's anything that I want you to get out of this video, and things that I do want you to practice, it's these next couple things that you can do against moon skills. So the reason you're going to clash with moon skills more often than anything else in this game is that when they activate Moondrive, any moon skill they do gets those clash frames just like the charge normals do from the very first frame that they are active. And when you're new to the game, this option seems so strong once you find out that it exists that people will tend to just use it over and over and over many times a game. And that is why it's so important that you learn how to beat it. And just to show you what the clash looks like, I'm going to have Shiki activate Moondrive and then do his moon skill instantly. You'll see that he immediately clashes with me and it goes right through me, just like in the intro scenario that I showed you. The great thing about moon skills though that they have in this game is if you shield a moon skill, your opponent is stuck in that move until the full move goes through and then all of the recovery afterwards. So this means anytime you shield a moon skill, you get a massive punish for enormous damage anytime that you shield one. And that would look like this. So I'm going to have him do the same situation, I'm going to shield it, and I'm going to show you that he can't do anything afterward. You see that it says punish on the side there. He was stuck all the way up, all the way down, and even for a little bit after he landed. So remember how I told you could instantly jump shield against the charge normals? You can do the same thing against this Moondrive activation into Moon skill. And again, this gives you that ability to punish whenever they do a Moon skill while in Moondrive or otherwise, honestly. And because you shielded them while you're in the air, you can do an A counter into a big combo. And that's about 4,500 damage for Red Arc here. Unfortunately, not all jumps in Type Lumina are created equal, and so if you play Vlav, Koma, or Kohaku, your jump is slightly too slow to do this. So after your jab, you have to time a shield input, but you still get the same punish that everybody else would. It's worth noting that you also still have all the other options you would normally, like we talked about in the ground clashes section, but you should always go for this shield tech against moon skills as it is the highest reward and it's very consistent. Alright, and now you're a Clash God. Maybe you guys need some help figuring out how you might practice these things in training mode. Maybe there's other interactions in the game, maybe some mechanics that you're not sure about or you don't really understand that you might want to see a video on. Definitely shoot me a comment, let me know if you would be interested in any of those things. If you did end up enjoying the video, please hit the subscribe button and I will see you guys next week for another guide.